want you to know that I'll be doing this on behalf of the viewer and many people out there who may not exactly understand what this situation is. Now, join me, welcome my guest this morning, Olivia Namutebi. She is the Executive Director, Albinism Umbrella, Uganda. Good morning, Namutebi.
Good morning, Robert.
How are you?
I'm good.
Happy to have you.
Great to be at UBC Morning.
Now, let's begin with first, your organization, the Albinism Umbrella. What does it do?
Albinism Umbrella is a registered national, rather non-government organization, fully compliant, that advocates for the rights of persons with albinism in Uganda, specifically. But as an organization, we have been engrafted into the disability movement, so we look at the entire disability fraternity. Okay.
That is very interesting. Now, for many Ugandans, let's get to understand this. When we talk of albinism, what is this? When I look at you, I'm happy that for you among those that have come out to speak.
Right.
When I look at you with this condition, help the viewer
to understand.
Is it a disease? What causes it? You know,
very
some will say muzungu huyo, others will say but which muzungu? So please.
Okay. Thank you so much, and to our esteemed viewers. Those who are able to see. And why I say that, because as we are in the disability movement, there are people who are only able to hear and they are not able to see. So a person viewing me today, I am a Ugandan, averagely it would be with a darker skin, but I have a condition called albinism, and this condition is inherited from both parents.
Come again?
The condition of albinism is inherited from both parents. My mother and my father carried that albinism gene to have me. None of them looked like me. Any viewer out there, you are our parents, you carry a recessive gene, the albinism gene. In science they tell us the dominant gene, the recessive. So albinism is a recessive gene, meaning it is small, but it goes from one generation to another. I use myself as an example. My own mom asked to 3 generations and they had never had any person with albinism. Science doesn't lie. Years later, I have cousins and nieces who have albinism. On my father's side, it was closer. Because there is an aunt who was so she was like, she is your child. We had one of us like that. Even if you didn't see them, but there was a grandmother or something. So I always emphasize that this gene is carried by both parents. It's not a woman's issue as purportedly be. Most people, I mean the man doesn't carry the baby, so it's the onus is on the woman to prove. Men usually distance and say, oh no, that's not mine. So the emphasis is you carry that gene that you pass on to your child. That is how albinism comes about. So
if only one of the parents has that recessive gene, it can't happen.
It cannot.
If I married you, sorry to use that example.
Absolutely.
Yes.
We cannot have a child with albinism. If you are sure, generations, let's say 4 or 5 in your lineage, nobody had albinism. But even if they were there and you don't carry that gene, we can never have a child with albinism.
Just like, so it has a connotation like sickle cell.
Absolutely. Yet albinism is not a disease, because I'm not suffering from albinism. It cannot be healed, you know. It only manifests at birth when you look different from your parents. And that's it. The difference is in the skin color, and my vision is low. All of us have low vision. It depends, of course, per individual. Some may be able to see quite better. Others are so low, close to blindness. In this journey of my 20 years in this space, I used to think the older you get and we are looking at screens and everything, your eyes get worse. In Nwera, I happened to see a 3-year-old child who was close to blindness. You know, we go to schools, we do all this awareness in health centers, in schools, in the community. So the condition comes with two specific challenges, that is the skin and the eye. Besides that, I mean, if there is any other disability, that's different, because we can also be physically disabled, we can be blind, we can be deaf, just like any other individual. So albinism, the emphasis is it is a genetic condition inherited from both parents. It cannot be passed on by touch. It is not contagious. And we are full human beings with every right, with every dignity. This condition does not impair my ability to think, my ability to reproduce. The impairment, as we can call it, only hinders my participation in issues that affect my skin and eye.
Now, when you talk about issues that affect your skin and eye, away from that, the rest is very, very normal.
Absolutely.
Now, let's look at the key challenges. I'm very eager to understand the social challenges that persons with this, I love to call it a condition.
Yes, it is.
Because it's not a sickness.
No.
And actually, at one time I was offended when it was called a disability, but when I was explained further, I appreciated why it was classified there.
Under disability.
Because initially it wasn't there.
Thank you.
Now, let's look at the social challenges.
So albinism, moving away from the health challenges that we face, because we look different from our parents, it has a lot of stigma. Which stigma, unfortunately, at times starts from home, where a family disintegrates because this child is born, because they don't look like the parents, they don't know anything about this condition. That's why June is the whole month. If we could join even up to South Africa, they do move September. So we really look at all this space from June to September as awareness. But the heightened month of June is awareness. That's why at the UN level, they created a day, International Albinism Awareness Day, which we just celebrated last Saturday.
That's the 13th?
13th June.
Yes, 13th
so
June.
Even the name itself suggests it. Awareness, as in people are not aware about this condition. So the stigma is a lot. It comes with this discrimination, and there are so many myths. I don't know why, as humans, what we do not know, we try to explain it away. Just as you introduced and said, I heard they disappear. And there are thousands of myths. Some of them are very dangerous, that they actually infringe on our right to life. Like you said, you know, some people believe we have the wealth gem, or whatever I have, they can get money. I'm
sitting with the money right now.
Guess what? Unfortunately, we are very poor.
Someone watching who believes in that school of thought,
I would want to challenge them.
There's a lot of wealth that I have just next to me.
Exactly. You know, if you thought that way, wouldn't it be that we are very rich? If we give wealth, today we have some rich names we can name in Uganda. Going to them, there are certain basics you expect. Like if we define wealth, having money, being in good health and all that. But if we basically look at wealth as money, we are very poor. 60% of households with persons with albinism are under the poverty line, and that is researched. Under the poverty line. So how is it that we are giving wealth? You mean we don't want to be wealthy?
None of Uganda have a saying.
And which is of course not true. I'll give you a story, because there are many myths around that, and I will not name, but in the Busoga region, I mean, statistics show that it is one of the poorest regions in this country. So, and the numbers of persons with albinism is also a bit high, due to whatever reasons. So there is this uncle who told his daughter, we are this poor, and I heard that your hair brings wealth. My daughter, why don't you just give me some of this and we try it out? I applaud that girl. She said, uncle, let's try it. Gave her some hair. 2 years down the road, thank God the girl was safe. Whatever they did, ask the uncle, did the charm work? Like, why are we still in the same condition? I gave you the recipe for riches. And the uncle came back and said, you know what, I proved that does not work. So ladies and gentlemen watching out there, we are not a source of wealth, and we will never be. No human being, as in blood or nails, whatever we produce can ever give you wealth. Work hard and you'll be rewarded.
Very interesting. Work hard and you'll be rewarded. Now you've talked about stigma, you've talked about those myths, the likes of people with albinism disappear. Someone tells you can walk the entire world, just show me a grave where one was buried. They just disappear. When they reach a certain age, they are a source of wealth. If I am able to get Olive's just a piece of her nails and cut those, then do some charm, I'll be rich. Brother and sister, these are all lies.
I want to debunk the myth about disappearance. It so happened that I've been fortunate, I've moved this country quite broadly. And in one of the places we went to, that is in Manafwa district, around 2018, and we really believe in research. We don't want to speak just stories. As an organization, our mission hinges on 3 things. That is research, advocacy, and partnerships. So as we went out to do research, and we did this thanks to UBOS that has now come up with a number, but wherever we would go for, you know, they are killing us, we have these issues, people would be like, but how many are you? I think there are 3, I think you are 2, you know. So we really carried out a spatial mapping survey, and we went to 35 districts as at 2014, that demarcation, you know, now districts can enlarge. Currently there could be maybe around 70 or so. So one of the elders in Manafwa, to me I believe that could be the source of that myth. He said, years ago, when a child with albinism was born, with a stigma, with everything that surrounds it, of course there would be a social outcast, right? The mom or the parents, if they stayed together, would really keep this child indoors. But somehow in the African world, surely a neighbor or 2 or 3 will know. And when this child gets sick, they would hardly want to move from this circle that is, you know, aware of the challenge to expose them to a health center. They would hardly go there. Of course, they will not go to school. In the unfortunate event that that person dies, they would carry the body at night, throw it in the Manafwa River, and if anybody asked, they would say, she disappeared. You know, to just close that off. It's really settled well for me, and I'm like, wait a minute. This, you know, myths begin from anywhere. I'm sure as we're growing up, they tell you some thicket has a lion. Maybe somebody just got scared and said there was a lion, and it carries on. There is a lion, and you've heard the stories when they cut it down, there is nothing exactly. So even the myth of disappearing is perhaps one of those that people were just wanted to close it out and not cause an alarm. They don't want to see a grave. Today, many of us, we have graves. I wouldn't want to tell you where they are, because even
the graves,
exactly, they
people
want to
hunt for
them. Exactly.
If someone gets to know where the grave is.
Yes. And I know we just lost one of us, I think 3 years ago, just here in Masulit, and it cost a star. I'm like, in the center, I thought we had done somewhere.
So you saw thousands come just to see?
Leave alone thousands. They were looking at the coffin and they're thinking, is that body there? They are going to resurrect. You know, all sorts of things. In my home area, my parents are in Matuga. There was one, John, he passed on some years ago. He was buried. So people die, but because our numbers are not many, and it's not like, you know, that home had one and people following up. Really, we are human beings. Science says every living thing grows and
dies.
Absolutely. So how can we not die?
Well, we are trying to demystify these myths that you have regarding people with albinism. That actually the truth is, these exactly people like you and I, the only challenge is the skin complexion and the sight. Away from that, the rest is they are exactly like you. But I want to ask you a question which is a bit personal. How have you managed to come up and have the confidence to speak? You know, when I talked to you earlier, I was like, I hope some of my questions that are personal, you're like, no, you can ask anything. You know, you're very free about this situation. What has been the power behind it? Because I've interacted with quite a number of people with this situation, condition, and they are interviewing them is a difficult thing. First, you have to know the grounds you're trending on. You have to be very careful not to sound. But you're one of the people that I've spoken to are very free about this. What has been your courage?
I want to take really my courage from my mom. Because, unfortunately, I will say fortunately, I'm a firstborn. And I always joke with people that, you know, as parents, nobody literally prepares you. No child comes with a manual. So I didn't come with a manual on how to raise Olive. She tried out everything. I came out different with all that surrounded my birth. So as a woman, she resolved to love me as any other child. She would whip me, do everything else, and forget my skin condition. So that maybe tough hand, you know, made me tough. And she would always tell me, in case, you know, you felt very vulnerable and feeling like, Mom, you need to do this. She's like, with your skin, if you don't read, if you don't speak up, the world will be very harsh for you. So she tells you, confront this world like any other person. Every limitation you have, put it behind you and move forward. So that's why, for me, family is the unit where we nurture who we are. That self-esteem is nurtured right there. I have people that I've worked with who have been raised by grandparents, and they are great. Grandparents are great. But there is one particular one who believed that myth that she would disappear. And in her heart of hearts, she's like, I hope I don't disappear in the night. I hope I don't disappear into the forest. And the grandma didn't know much. So this is a little child. One time she goes to school and she's scared, says, no, sit home. Mom didn't allow that. I studied in the most harsh conditions. One time I was even barefoot going to school. I mean, that's a condition. One time she tried to get me shoes. Guess what? In that school, because the majority didn't have shoes, it brought more stigma. I threw them away. I'm like, let me blend in. So time has come that maybe the blending in has not worked. I need to stand out and, hey guys, this condition is just a condition. But it comes from society. But parents, as a child, have you loved these children? When you nurture us in the best way you know, you nurture the rest. I've had parents who say, or especially fathers, how many children do you have? Say they have 4. There'll be 3 and this other. You know, it's like you're already in a certain category. If you are bold and say, I have 4 children, okay, 2 boys, 2 girls, that's it. They are all children. Love them the way they should be loved. Give them the opportunities. Why is it that when it's school fees time, Olive's fees will come later? Because after all, she doesn't see well in class, then the distance to go, and I'm talking to the majority of Ugandans in the rural setting, you know. But if you love us, nurture us the way you do for everybody else, give us the right opportunities, the sky is the limit.
Well, I'm enjoying the conversation here, and I hope if you're a parent out there and you have a child with this condition, well, there is so much you're learning from here. The child is extremely, absolutely normal. It's only the sight and the skin complexion. But the rest, and that child has that ability. But after the break, still I'll ask something personal. You look good.
Thank you. The
skin, the sight. But when we see many of them, some have cracked skins. Some have issues totally with sight. They don't look that healthy. Even those have met them from good families. But still you see that despite the wealth in the family, of course still where someone believes that the wealth of that family is because they have a child. Yes, there is one time I was at a party and this child came, when she came and someone told me in Uganda, Kachoyo yavako bugaga wa family. You know?
It's not true.
Then there are also others that are hunting to marry you.
You know.
So it's her kasito wasanna magoye.
Omaze.
Gundi oyo bugagga naye agenda n'azaala mu namagoye. Just imagine. Meaning that man was struggling, but that day he got a child with a person of this condition. Ha! Usente wezava. That's the source of his wealth. But let's go for a break.
Live from UBC Studios in Kampala. This is Good Morning Uganda.
Are you looking for a home away from home? Then this is the place for you. My name is Chini Kaji, and welcome to Hotel Le Confidential. With 84 comfortable rooms where you can relax and feel safe. Each room has a lovely view of green vegetation, Wi-Fi, air conditioning, and a tasty breakfast.
Children can have fun at our kids' water park and our kids' play area. You can also enjoy our world-class health club, spa, sauna, gym, boutique, and sky blue swimming pool.
Thank you for choosing Hotel Le Confidential, where every stay is unforgettable. Come and stay in comfort, right at home, today, tomorrow, and always.
It's our mission to secure your money.
Protecting your money is as important as earning it. It is for this reason that the Deposit Protection Fund of Uganda, DPF, was established by the government of Uganda to provide deposit protection to customers of regulated financial institutions. In the unlikely event that your commercial bank, credit institution or microfinance deposit-taking institution fails, the DPF will pay you up to 10 million Uganda shillings. Keep your personal information such as national identification number, mobile phone or an alternative bank account updated with your banker. Terms and conditions apply. For more information, contact DPF at Aha Towers, Plot 7 Lodell Road, Kampala. Call 0312-206-400 or visit our website at www.dpf.or.ug.
We are the DPF. We protect your money. Protection Fund of Uganda.
The World Football Spectacle is here!
Football fire! Feel the heart!
From the vibrant cities of Canada, the passion of Mexico, and the grand stages of the United States, the FIFA World Cup 2026 is set to ignite the planet! Every goal, every save, every moment of glory, live and unforgettable on UBC TV and all its radio stations.
From the streets of Rio to the nights in Spain.
Follow Africa's finest, football's biggest stars, and the battle for the most converted trophy in world football.
1, 3, 1, set to play.
Where legends rise, dreams come alive, and history is made. UBC is the home of the FIFA World Cup 2026. Stay tuned to UBC TV and all UBC's radio stations, bringing the world to Uganda, one match at a time.
Live from UBC Studios in Kampala. This is Good Morning Uganda.
In a nation hungry for truth, a world where every story matters, there exists a beacon of trust and reliability. For decades, they've been our voice and our window to the world, holding the mirror of our history. With 4 TV stations and 11 radio channels spanning 27 languages, they stand as guardians of information, defenders of truth. With Mascari Heritage Advantage, they uphold every citizen's right to reliable and free information. Their archive stories shaped our past and illuminate our present. Yet now, as new challenges arise and the world evolves, their mission faces its greatest test yet. Be part of our journey and let's navigate the unknown, uncover the untold, and safeguard our future together. Tune into your public broadcaster, for it is the intersection of trust and truth. Because to UBC, your story, and every voice matters. UBC, inspiring Uganda.
Live from UBC Studios in Kampala. This is Good Morning Uganda.
Welcome back from that break. Of course, we have been deliberating on so many interesting things here. I have a very interesting guest and very free to talk about anything regarding albinism. Now, coming back to you, Olive, I want to know, how have you managed? How have you served through to look healthy, to have a healthy skin? You know, how have you handled this situation, and how should it be handled?
Thank you so much, Robert. And not only for Olive as a person having albinism, for every person, for every viewer out there. What do you tell yourself on the inside of you? Okay? As we do, as Albinism Umbrella, we have, I should say, a signature program that we do. We call it SASA, S-A-S-A, self-awareness, self-acceptance. Are you aware of who you are? Because if I know I am a woman, I'm beautiful, I'm loved, those voices are represented out. Okay? I could put on the most expensive clothes and I don't feel smart. You see it on my demeanor. Okay? People who, you know, they look unkempt, they have sores everywhere. I mean, we have different skin types and conditions, and we are talking of us seeing proudly in my skin. Okay? Skins respond to care. Like some nutritionists say, you are what you eat. Okay? Do you really take care of that skin? But that belief of who you are has almost 80% to how you will respond to the environment. If I met Robert today and my head is telling me, oh, he's looking at how ugly I am, maybe he knows I can't see him properly, or he's going to abuse me, you know, already that puts me, you know, at a disadvantage. When I approach you and we are going to do business, I'm like, hey, good morning, how are you? We want to do business. You know, you'll be like, okay. You know, what, like you'd say, what's the vibe? What are you bringing out? But if you think, oh, for me, you know, grandmother told you, you never amount to anything. Have you seen any person with albinism amount to anything? For me, when I'm pursuing something, I know it's not an answer. We'll get an alternative. So what is it that drives you? I once worked with Caltex and they had that. What drives you? So that very self-belief, you know, is what I tell our young people, is what I tell parents. What have you put in this child? You know, in this work, I have known that children do not know how to discriminate. The children don't. Have you seen kids and saying, no, you won't play with us? There is a certain age, you know, if we're children, come, let's play. Now the parent is like, oh, don't play with that child. They are different. That's when the child begins to think of, oh no, mom said this. You know, it's those voices that are introduced that, you know,
or even the child of the very parent, of the very child with albinism says, don't go and play with them, you will fall down.
You understand? And
you know your skin.
Thank you. You're already limiting. And I actually tell the parents of children with albinism that please don't overprotect. Don't overprotect. These challenges are there. But then don't make them super beings. We go to schools, we do advocate, and especially the private schools. I have a bone to pick with many of you that feel they're there for business. This one child who has low vision is not that important. And then they write on the chalkboard the very few, you know, small letters. Oh, we've made them sit in front. But right here, the camera could be 2 meters away, or the chalkboard, and I cannot see. Have you put that, you know, comfortable situation that I can either walk to the chalkboard, I can ask my neighbor to read for me? Because all we are looking at is inclusion. Don't isolate us. I've been to places, Tanzania, there were, homes for people with albinism. I am so against it. So against it. It was done for their security, I
That was
understand.
going to that Tanzania, it had reached.
Yeah. As a government, they needed to do that. But now, as we move into the inclusion space, special schools, I mean, there are disabilities that may need, more attention than others. Albinism does not need to have a special school or a special anything. Let's be integrated in the system. Give us that, we call it reasonable accommodation, as in allow me to see what works best for me. If we are going for physical exercise, it's in the sun, allow me to put on a hat to protect myself. To damn dress this would be the ideal. You're all protection. But there are people who love fashion and they have back shows, they have all this. As long as you don't expose yourself to the sun, because skin cancer kills. It's a very slow, painful thing. Today you're exposed to the sun, you get those blisters. Before you know it, the cancer is there, but very preventable. Protect yourself as a person with albinism. Skin cancer will be a myth, okay? But when we do not protect ourselves, we will not be proudly in our skin as the theme for today.
Now, what is your call to government?
Our call to government, it sounds like a broken record, but we'll still do it. Just Saturday, the first Prime Minister was absurd that for over a decade, as a country, we are crying for sunscreens.
Yes. Quite expensive.
Quite expensive, And just last year in September, the World Health Organization has put sunscreen on the essential drug list. I mean, that's the pace setter in the health world, right? And the Ministry of Health, this is a plea I know advocated for the past 7 or so, and they were really in high gear. They're saying you are going to be there. It's public document. It's on the website. It is not there. Sunscreen is not a luxury for people with albinism. It's a life-saving cream. We don't have any chemistry that I can have an injection like they're doing for HIV. No. I need that external protection for me. And guess what? It's not like you just put on your face and arms and you're good for that day. No. If I'm going to, today I'm going to use a border or somewhere, I need to put another layer to protect myself more and more. The people that you see whose skins are so, not well, that is sun damage. I've seen a 10-year, 11-year-old with wrinkles, which is not right. We believe wrinkles should come after 40, But because the skin, and I tell people with albinism to do a lot of hydration. Please take a lot of water. Take a lot of water. Like any other person, you need to hydrate your skin. But for us, you need to be, I love it that you are really doing it. So we need to take a lot of water. We need to protect ourselves, protect our eyes. For us, wearing sunglasses is just not fashion. We are just reducing the light intensity. We need it. My very pair, I could have 2 pairs for this, but it has that anti-glare. When I'm in the sun, it will turn dark to protect me from that, heavy light coming into my eyes. So the government, can we have more dermatologists? I'm told we have less than 20 dermatologists for the 47 million Ugandans.
Experts in the skin.
Less than 20.
Or skin doctors.
Really?
Someone would want to call it that way.
Exactly, skin doctors. Really?
Professional. Herbalists are also taking on so much.
No.
But you're talking about a doctor who went to school and specialized
in the skin.
In the skin.
And guess what? The skin is the largest organ of the human body. Okay, so how do we protect the skin with less than 20 skin doctors in this country? We, as persons with albinism, need to see a skin doctor every year, at least once. At least once. So as Albinism Umbrella, we are carrying out skin clinics. We go, we call people, they check. We take the doctor there to check on us, that our skin is okay. We are not excluding the rest of the public, because when we do, there are many other skin conditions, by the way, eczema and, vitiligo. abalongo bamwocha. It's also a skin condition meanwhile. So we need to do a lot of awareness, but as government, you are the forefront of protecting us. You are the forefront of making sure that we are healthy. If for me, as a woman in Butaleja digging, because I just remembered one of them, I hope she's still alive, because when I saw her skin, it was terrible. 2 p.m. she was still in the garden, and you can imagine what that means. Livelihood. She's like, if I don't dig, I won't have food.
And then she's bleeding the bursts of the skin and all
and
that.
she can never go to a health center to find a sunscreen. Let it even begin at the regional hospital, but there is nothing.
If sunscreen is complicated, because I remember one time I hosted some official. I think it was classified under luxurious something.
Cosmetics.
Cosmetic,
at one moment.
And
yes.
at home, as a cosmetic, many women apply it luxuriously. So it's seen as a cosmetic and with high taxation in that field.
The correction is, and we thank Honorable Rebecca Kadaga during the 10th Parliament. That's one big win that we'll celebrate, that URA, we lobbied so much, one, to remove taxes from sunscreens. Yes, that was done, but not a blanket. So whenever we get sunscreens, we need to go to URA and man, getting a tax exemption now is a tall order. But yes, in principle, sunscreens are tax exempt. And why we are still trying our best, that it is on the essential drug list. Yes, you may not put it under cosmetics, but it's still there. It is very, go to Fast Pharmacy. The very few, a small tin of 100 mils may cost you 60,000. Now for me 100 mils will be just 1 week. How much do I earn? How much does an average Ugandan earn to even buy one in a month? So the burden is huge. Today we celebrate the National Severe Child Disability Grant. You know, they're looking at children with severe disabilities. Children with albinism may not be severe, right? But the cost of maintaining that child healthy needs government support. A woman in Amdat, I've been to Karamoja, and there are meats there, and as hot as it can get. They need support to have that child being raised well, to be able to go to school, for instance, because you need to do a layer now. I mean, in these places, you don't expect a school shuttle to take them. So they walk to school, they come back to school. In a month, in a term, the child's skin is all pink, red, and all that. So the parent would be like, choose between school and life. You know where the balance will be? So, as a government, we really plead for dermatologists, eye care services. I usually go to Mengo and Low Vision. They encourage us to have an eye care checkup every year. Every year. We've been to many of the outreaches, and it's like a myth having your eyes checked, because some parents even don't know. They're like, but my child can't see. And I'm like, yeah, that's what comes with a condition. But some people do not know that we are low vision. We are myopic, you know. So let it not surprise you as a teacher out there and be like, this child didn't do my work. He didn't even see it. Did you even care to ask what the challenge is? We've lobbied UNEB, and we thank God for those head teachers. I want to appreciate them that are able to register our students as special needs. So what happens when we are doing the national exams, they will have that exam set with 16 font size. This child is able to see. Give me some extra 30 minutes. I've seen many excel and excited. I was able to see the paper, and they pass. And we add to the development of this country, because we surely can add to the development of Uganda.
Well, so much said, and very important. From where we began, by knowing that a woman can never give birth to a child with this condition unless the man had recessive genes. So it takes two, one alone. So remember, blame yourself. But even more, why blame yourself?
You know?
What's the reason? Because this is a condition that only affects the skin and sight. And very interesting, we have all it takes for people to live a comfortable life. If we choose to. Sight, that can be worked upon. Provide the gadgets they need, the glasses of the types that they need. Skin, well, the sunscreen is available. How do we make it cheap and available to everybody? Available and affordability are the issues to tackle. Then the next is avoid stigma.
That's it.
This finger pointing, stigmatization, and also parents, help us. Do not treat these children though they are not. You know, overprotection. Don't do sports at school, you fall. Don't swim, you do this. Don't. The child wants to break the egg and move and address the world. But you're keeping that child locked in a yoke and saying, no, for you don't qualify for this and that. Well, we can take a whole day talking about this condition, more so with my guest here, but time will not allow me to do so. So I'll just give you a minute or two for your closing remark.
Thank you so much, Robert. It's been a great engagement. My closing remark is, let's move from sympathy to inclusion. Let's, as we celebrate Proudly in My Skin, we need to be given space so that we are proudly engaging. We want to contribute to the development of this country. Do not limit us. Any person out there, when you find a person with albinism, treat them as fully human, fully able, not as just beneficiaries, but full participants and rights holders for their own benefit and for the community. I appeal to the government once more that we matter as persons with albinism. 78,000 Ugandans live with albinism as per UBO's census 2024. That's not a constituency you want to ignore, because we are able. Looking forward to the teachers and the health workers to treat us as human beings, just with another skin condition. Proudly in my skin.
Proudly in my skin. I just want to thank you very much for your time, and above all, coming out against all odds. I know more so as a woman.
Yes.
As a girl child in school, it's not been easy. But standing out there and saying the world must know, they must know the truth. We must ensure we demystify all these myths that are moving around, and indeed they are myths. So please, let's support the call to government. I'm sure it has been heard, and when we see Parliament with that amendment, that was a major breakthrough. We hope and we pray. Let's make our world a better place for all of us. See you tomorrow, God willing. Good morning.
Good morning.
Live from UBC Studios in Kampala. This is Good Morning Uganda.
The World Football Spectacle is here!
Football fire, feel the power.
From the vibrant cities of Canada, the passion of Mexico, and the grand stages of the United States, the FIFA World Cup 2026 is set to ignite the planet! Every goal, every save, every moment of glory, live and unforgettable on UBC TV and all its radio stations.
From the streets of Rio to the night and day.
Follow Africa's finest, football's biggest stars, and the battle for the most converted trophy in world football.
1, 2, 3, 1, let's to play.
Where legends rise, dreams come alive, and history is made. UBC is the home of the FIFA World Cup 2026. Stay tuned to UBC TV and all UBC's radio stations, bringing the world to Uganda, one match at a time.
Exercise can't be sustained. Eating can't be stopped. It's even harder to lose weight. Come and give it a try. Genshikang L-carnitine chromium capsules. Plant extract, scientific ratio. Take 3 capsules each time. The active ingredient accelerates fat burning, eat twice a day, Don't take a detour. Weight loss starts now. Ginshikang L-carnitine with chromium capsules helps you stay in shape. Please follow medical advice when taking this product.